Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio October 2022 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time and are subscribers, you know I always love to see you, and you know, don't you, that we don't have any video advertisements breaking their way into this content, which allows you to enjoy the experience in full. And speaking of good experiences, I have had the great pleasure of doing a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings from different parts of the world for some of your Scorpio sisters and brothers over the course of the last month. And if you might be interested in having a one-on-one personal clairvoyant reading with me, just check out the information that's in the description box below. But now we're going to take 5 cards from this rather unusual and I suspect probably rare deck. And because 5 is all we need, and it's quite interesting deck. Let's get it underway, shall we? There's the 8 of Wands. There is the 10 of Discs. That's a great card for you, Scorpio. Mind you, all the cards are good. The Hierophant, of course. Now, there's some Hebrew letters in this, but I don't propose to deal with the Hebrew letters, I don't think, because we dealt with Hebrew letters and I Ching and runes in last month's readings, didn't we? And if you want to see those, just go onto my playlist and you can check out to see whether you had those in your readings, but they were spread across the readings. And finally, what's this card? The Devil. You devil, you. Well, I might use the backs of these cards as a sort of a frame for your reading because they are really interesting and wild-looking card backs. So, why don't you come now, as is our practice, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. There, I think you can see those. This is what the back of the card looks like, incidentally. Quite trippy, isn't it? Now, let's have a look at the first card here, which is Major Arcana number 5. Now, interestingly, as I say, Major Arcana number 5, if you can see down at the bottom of this Hierophant's, whatever this thing is that he's holding, there's a number of V's there. V is the the letter expressing the Roman numeral for 5. And the V's arranged symmetrically and rotated in a circle, well, they form the image of a pentagram, if you were to rotate them around. Now, his sign here is Taurus, and his letter is Vav. That's the Hebrew letter there. Now, Vav means the nail, and the nail that connects the 5-pointed star here to this flaming blue star that's there. What else is interesting about it is that, well, the keys of silver and gold, I suppose they could be said to show the balance between the subconscious and the conscious, and are the keys of earth and heaven, or the keys of Solomon's temple, because he shows the way and unlocks the door. Now, interestingly here, you see, in a book of the Old Testament or Hebrew Bible called the Book of Psalms, the Book of Ezekiel, written supposedly by the prophet Ezekiel, in chapter 1 of that book, he says he has a religious experience and sees some beings coming out of a whirlwind of sand in the desert. And the beings all have one body, and the head, though, has 4 faces. And this is in verse 10 of chapter 1, if you want to have a look at it. He says that each of them had at the front the face of a man, at the left the face of a lion, at the right the face of an ox, and at the rear the face of a bull. These are, in fact, the representations of the fixed sign of air, which is Aquarius, the fixed sign of water, which is Scorpio, that's Scorpio's exalted form, the fixed sign of fire, which is Leo, and the fixed sign of earth, which is Taurus. Now, this is Venus in Taurus, with the moon exalted. Taurus is earth, and this emphasizes the importance of applying your spiritual realizations to the day-to-day world, as he links the two, the spiritual realm and the material realm, by way of a nail. Now, I think that this indicates probably for you at this time to just go with the flow, the need to follow rules and regulations and the traditions in your life, even if you don't necessarily believe in the tradition. There might be people around who it's just going to make it easier, I think, if you go along with them for this period of time anyway. It could also represent a period, I think, of intense learning, where you upskill yourself. Now, this could be a trade, it could be going to night school, it could be going to college, or it could just be looking at things on the internet and finding out about things. I think this is a very good card for people who are in large organizations. Now, I also think that you'll be very gifted at imparting to others information and inspiring others. Now, you may well find that you are attracted, in particular this month, to sound, however that comes about, be it the sounds of nature, or be it music, or even of traffic. Sound is going to be important to you, and it is something that you are going to become more aware of than normally. Why that is so, I don't know. That's just what's good coming through. I think you'll also be good at listening and speaking, and you'll want to make your ideas tangible and usable. You'll have a deep desire to be challenged by new experiences. You could also want to go into the more spiritual side of yourself as well, I think. Do you know, if you aren't a teacher or a consultant, you'd be very, very good at that, I say, because you're a natural teacher and consultant at this time. It's particularly good for any creative arts that are going on, and this can extend to cooking, gardening, fashion, makeup, or beautifying the home around you, for example. But creative arts are something that's going to be here, because you will have a desire for fixing things up and integrating elements around you. But the search for the self might lead you into spiritual realms. This can point to a meeting with a spiritual teacher, so be open to that if that comes about. And they turn up in the most unlikely of places. But say this to yourself: I honor the sacred within me. I am inspired by learning and teaching. I am creative and productive in my family and everyday life. There is only one voice worth listening to, and that is the voice of my own heart. Well, I think we shall go next to the other major arcana, which is here. The Devil. Hello, Devil. Now, let's have a look at you. Do you have anything particularly unusual going on? Well, there's nothing really outstanding about it, other than this is saying it's the sign of Capricorn. That's Ayin. Ayin is a Hebrew letter for eye, that is of seeing. There are steps here, these red steps that go up. That relates to Capricorn, which is about you climbing and advancing and about ambition, I think. Here is the planet of Saturn, which is associated with Capricorn. And of course, time is one of those things that's associated with Capricorn. This looks like a double helix of DNA, which to me represents life. So this is a time when you should be having a lust for life and enjoy everything that life has to offer. Now, as I say, this is Capricorn ruled by Saturn with Mars exalted. But here it's Mars showing its best form, the fiery, material energy of creation. The card can represent a tunnel vision, because Mars is usually directed at some goal, and Capricorn can usually be directed at some material goal. Now, this tunnel vision that you have might relate to a career, an ambition, or even just looking after your own best interest, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it does imply that you can accomplish a lot if you are focused, and because the devil isn't distracted by other things. He's very focused with the task at hand. Now, astrologically, Capricorn is the sign of business, career, worldly success, social standing. And Capricorns are usually hard workers and high achievers, aren't they? And I think that this is something that you'll find here. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and Mars governs your sex drive and creative energy, so the card has a very strong link to the material side of life and self-ambition. Now, Capricorn is opposite Cancer on the zodiac wheel at the top, and it falls in the winter solstice, around about the 25th of December. So what this is talking about here is that paradoxically, I find a degree of Christ consciousness associated with this energy as well. Now, it is possible that you may have felt restricted or imprisoned by life or by a situation or obligation that oppresses you or that appears to be out of your control. But I think you have more influence over the situation than you think. Now, check for any addictions which are stopping you. Not for addictions, but addictions that are stopping you from enjoying your life to the full. You need to accept, I think, that you have an ambitious side, but see it for what it is without becoming a slave to it. You have a strong desire at this time to compete, to improve, and to win, but keep a balance between the material side of your life and your emotional and spiritual side. I think you might find that you are sexually attracted to you, or there is to someone else. I think that people are going to find you very sexually attractive during this period, and you may well have the desire for a new relationship or the development of an existing relationship. Understand also that there may be people who demonize you, because we often see this thing as being a demon, who make you out to be the devil. Well, just meet them with a laugh and lightness and accept what life gives you. Keep your feet on the ground. Now ask yourself this: do you have some wish or desire that you don't admit to? Say this to yourself: I am a vital, joyful, and grounded person. I enjoy my sexuality. Now, whether my problems are real or imagined, I can handle them realistically and with good humor. I am the captain of the ship, which is the symbol for my life. Now, where else are we going to head? What's down in the bottom left? This is looking all airy. Well, it's the Four of Swords. Let's have a look there. Now, 4 swords are arranged in a diamond shape. The diamond, and look at these feathers here. The diamond shape actually is a symbol of ascension, of clarity, and wisdom. Native American peoples associated the diamond with the butterfly, a symbol of air, and the immortality that results from leaving things behind, a legacy for other people. And also, I did a reading, didn't I, for you a couple of months ago, I think, where we looked at the Elder Futhark runes from the Vikings. And the diamond is the shape of the rune Ingwas, which means harmony, unity, and agreement, among other things. Now, the astrology of this is Jupiter ruling the 3rd decan of Libra, which is the 14th to the 22nd of October. I call this the Lord of Rest from Strife. Now, Libra tries to find balance in your life. The need for balance can induce unrest. Libra, you've got to be aware, can also induce indecisiveness from time to time. Now, Jupiter gives you a period of rest from a difficult situation, as well as opening your higher mind's flexibility, which is needed to resolve conflicts in life. And Jupiter allows you to move on. So with Jupiter in Libra, you will be feeling calm, centered, clarity, notwithstanding this great ambition that's moving forward here. And you'll have a degree of spiritual cleansing, I think, expansion, period of recuperation and quiet consideration is going on as well. Now, this can, in any event, signal the need to take time out from a stressful situation, maybe even if you can get a holiday to release the batteries. Anyway, a mental health break is needed. Call in sick. Conflicts won't go away, but time out from them is needed. But make the most of that mental health break, but don't put off anything which needs to be dealt with if it's unavoidable, because unavoidable things can grow to become bigger and even more challenging. But trust your intuition to know when enough rest is right for you. You have enough inner clarity now to successfully carry out your plans. Be sure at all times that you feel good about what is happening. What supports or what hinders your clarity? Check your surroundings and rearrange them to support calm and centeredness, and say to yourself, I am at peace within myself. Now that time out might be for you to decide what it is that you're going to do in order to fulfill your ambitions. Let's have a look at this card here, shall we? This is the Eight of Wands. Now, Mercury, well, first of all, Mercury in Sagittarius. Well, I would agree with that. And let's see here. Well, Eight of Wands. First of all, here's the shoes which are normally associated with Mercury, the winged sandals. And this is the caduceus that he normally holds up. And here there are 8 light rays emanating from this diamond at the top. And the sign, this rainbow sign, is the refraction of light from through this diamond into its rainbow components. Now, when I say that you might be using that time out to think about what you're going to do to fulfill your particular ambition, first of all, we have Mercury ruling the first decan of Sagittarius, which is the 23rd of November to the 2nd of December. Look, this is the lord of swiftness. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication, and Sagittarius has the swiftness of the arrow. Now, this produces within you something of a restless intellect. Now, the number 8 here, I also have an association with the planet of Mercury mystically as well. So there's a great degree of mental activity going on here, and the number 8 numerologically is also associated for me with power, balance, harmony, manifestation, practicality, skill, and more importantly, as a result of coming out of this time here, with decision. So I see that there will be clear, direct, swift communication which overcomes any misunderstandings, and you'll be able to get your point across. So much so that you will overcome obstacles, and events are going to be moving fast, blockages are going to be removed, and opportunities are going to be arising quickly. There's also going to be the manifestation of results. It's just peeping over the corner. It's just about to happen. You'll find that this is really a strike while the iron is hot card. It's a short energy card, this. It's not a long energy card this far down here, but it's a burst of energy. So you'll find that you can transform any situation, problem, or obstacle by taking fast action with direct communication to resolve the issue. And it highlights the need for clear communications to manifest the things that you want in your life. Just like this manifestation of a rainbow through here, where that was turned into that. but you've got the double Mercury here, so your point is going to be very easy to come across, and you'll be speaking sensibly, logically, in a way that people are going to be able to understand. This talks about the refinement of energy here. So you need to be clear with others to manifest things for the highest good. Now you can expect to be busy, as there's a lot of energy propelling you forward to your goals here. You may quickly complete a project that is already underway. Now determine where your energy is going to be directed. Focus the energy, don't scatter it, because the moment has come for you to define where you stand. If you are open and remain centered, misunderstandings will be cleared. Is there anyone to whom you do not dare to openly state where you stand? Or use this opportunity to open yourself up more to those people who do mean something to you. Talk to them or write letters and say this to yourself. My openness and self-confidence opens the hearts of those I love. And when you use that, see, this time, this energy, this ambition is going to ultimately succeed, because here is the 10 of discs. Now it says wealth. I'm not a great fan of titles on cards, I must say, but the Lord of Wealth is the last decan of the earth sign of Virgo. So here's Virgo and Mercury. Again, here's his communication, which we saw with the Eight of Wands. Now, this is Mercury in Virgo. That's the third decan, the mutable, the changeable. You know that there are 3 decans for each 10 degrees of the 30 degrees of the sign. The first is cardinal, the second is fixed, and the third is mutable or changeable. Now, what's good here is that Mercury is the ruler of Virgo in astrology, and it's also exalted in astrology. And this is talking about the material world of manifestation, because it's the number 10. And 10 is when we get down into the planet Earth. We're not talking so much about spiritual things here. So this card is considered the final card of the major arcana, much as the universe is the final major arcana, and the Princess of Discs is the final of the court cards. Now what began as the Ace of Wands here reaches the climax and culmination. Now, as I do say, this is, and it's worth repeating, Mercury ruling the third decan of Virgo, which is the 13th to the 22nd of September. And as I mentioned, Mercury is the ruler of and exalted in Virgo. So you'll have the good communication skills of Mercury carried over from this Eight of Wands here, and you'll have the good organizational ability of Virgo. So there is success and abundance with this card. We're talking here about inner and outer riches, the ability to make the inner wealth visible and to share it with others. I have to tell you, there is abundance here. I do get the feeling of, very much the feelings around of wealth and prosperity. Certainly a supportive and tight-knit family. And it's extremely good for people who might be involved in a family business. You have attracted to you everyone who is a part of your life. You have created every situation in your life by your own will or by your omission to act. And you create your own reality. The wealth in your hands is your own to do with what you like. The responsibility is yours, and you are endlessly wealthy. Do you know about your inner wealth? Do you share it generously? Why not just take a piece of paper, if you can find things like that anymore, and write down all the qualities which constitute your inner riches, and say this to yourself. I am internally and externally rich and free, and enjoy everything thankfully and in surrender. Well, what a particularly good set of cards for you. Good job. Well done, you. That's the way it is this month. Well, what an absolutely fantastic reading for you for this month of October. I hope you enjoyed the experience as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. You know, it's great. I love doing your readings for you each month. I really do, and I love it when you come by and stop by and have a look at it. It's good. It really makes me feel great. Now, one thing to remember, of course, is this: that until I see you again, remember that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.